Hey Zen fam. Hey look, I've had a shave. Way! Ooh, it's been awesome since I've seen this bit of me. Oh dear. Anyway, for tonight I just have a little bit of fun, nothing too serious. Let's just have a wee top 5 of my favourite PlayStation adverts. Yeah, just a little bit of whimsical thought, if you will. However, I do have to do one quick little task. I must thank the awesome member of the Zen fam, Sergeant Black Cobra, for this video's awesome thumbnail. That's 2 thumbnails he's done. He did one for the Q&A, he did one for tonight, and they look fantastic. Anyway, we should probably get cracking, shouldn't we? With number 5. Number 5 is a special entry, I believe. Yes. This is probably the first PlayStation advert I think I remember seeing. It just caught my imagination. I just loved the way this thing flowed. You know, the different voices but all saying the same thing, all come together as one community, and just relatable. I also like the fact that we're all like voices from my side of the Atlantic. You know, we're just like people from Blighty talking about PlayStation stuff and what it's like, and I think I recognise a couple of the people in this advert who went on to do other things later. That was kind of neat, and I just love the diversity. This is diversity before diversity. So think on that, if you will. Really cool little advert, and I just loved the way it presented itself. The colour shifts and the black and white, kind of artsy. So yeah, that was cool. Right, here we go with number 4. Number 4 I've always liked. Something special about 4. This little dance sequence the guy does. The guy's got some moves. I mean, yeah, it gets a bit corny in places, but you can't be corny in games advertising and video game stuff in general. I mean, Lord knows you've seen me be corny from time to time. Then when can you? I mean, but there's a part of you that, like, as corny as this video is, looks at it and goes, I can relate to that. And I do like the little Destiny right here, back when we actually thought Destiny was going to be alright before it just all went. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that some of you guys out there still love Destiny, but I had my heart broken by Destiny. I thought it was going to be the big thing, and it wasn't. Now this whole dance to the ceiling bit, this is very sort of singing in the rain kind of dealy. And I kind of like it and I kind of don't like it. It's, I don't know, I think the only thing that really ever gets me with most of these adverts is the music. You know, the music often is a bit poop, but I'm a metalhead, so you know, I'm going to feel a particular way about music. I love the Thunderjaw in this tank, by the way. That's just so cool, man. Well, I don't know what that is in that. Maybe Dino Crisis? Like the We Lived Here. There's like a wee blast of gameplay, which just looks awesome. I think that's a Killzone, or maybe or something else. No, it's not Killzone, because I don't remember that being Killzone. But nonetheless, it's still sweet as a nut. And then just comes out here and it all goes mental, and it's just like, yeah. And I think that's the Batman Tumbler in the background there, so that's kind of neat. Yeah. That's a good one, man. That's always been a sweet one. It has a lovely vibe to it. And of course, we move into our next candidate, number 3. Number 3, of course, is the ever-changing room of PlayStation, which is another advert set on my side of things. And I just love the way they put this together. They hit all the right notes. I love the way the systems change. I love the way that as the advert progresses through the time, the aspect ratio also changes, which is very clever. And it takes me back, because you know, I was a young guy at this time. I was like, you know, in my 20s, so I remember this stuff, and it's kind of just like a, oh, I remember that, oh. Remember, you know, going to my best mate's brother's room, Ian, and he was one of the first of us to have a PlayStation. Like I was the first of us, but he was the second of us. And we would play stuff on PlayStation like Tekken and that, and Tekken 2 when that came out and stuff, and blasting through the Tomb Raiders, and oh man, such days. And I love how as we clipped again, it gets here to PS2, and it's just all the reminders of these times. I don't know why he's still got his school thingy there, but you know, it's like how it's an old fat PS2 with the old loading screen. You watch when it swings back around again, it'll be a PlayStation 2 Slim, like you saw before how it was a PlayStation, and then it was a PlayStation 1 with all the roundy corners. Love the original box there as well, man, so it's like, oh, I remember that box. Although my box was a blue box, so I'm not sure what the yellow box was. I think the yellow box was for a different model or something, but my box is blue. So what are you gonna do? I think this is when we get to the PlayStation 3 one, I believe this is. You can see text getting a little bit better around the room and stuff. And there she is, the old 60 gigger. I miss her. She was a good machine. This is when gaming really started to take off. More people were fine about identifying themselves as gamers, and you could actually have people round and people would actually want to game. Not just your hardcore gaming mates, but other people as well. Gaming was becoming more socially acceptable, if you will. And it was just nice to see, you know, it's like, yeah. It's kind of neat here watching the London skyline develop. Now, admittedly, it'd be nice if it was an Edinburgh skyline, but you know, London is better known around the globe, I suppose. And then right here we end up with PlayStation 4, which of course is looking spanky with a lovely stand and a lovely telly. It'd be nice to have a setup like that, but then I've got so much stuff it's like it wouldn't really look like that. I mean, I've got like my amp, my deck, my cassette player and my CD player, the cable unit is like my PS4, my PS5 is just masses of stuff. But it's how the cookie crumbles. But that is one of the really, really good ones. Number 2, this is a cracker, this one. I love the way they've done this. I love this wide cinema ratio. Yeah, it's like really trying to not be too much in the way for this one, because this advert really had such atmosphere. And like when I was going through these adverts to find them and put them in here, I probably just watched this one a couple of times again because it's so atmospheric and it's really relatable if you're a gamer, especially if you're a PlayStation gamer. This advert makes such sense. It's kind of what you might think is going on inside your PlayStation with a wee bit of imagination. You know, like those pictures you see when it's like a PlayStation system or whatever other retro system, and it's split into layers. You can see all the components in that, and then on the components are like PlayStation characters darting about, like race cars racing and stuff, and you know, like Ken and Ryu having a fight or whatever. There's broken distinct layers, and that's kind of cool. And what I love in this advert is also the voices. I mean, the guy there playing Cole McGrath sounds like Cole McGrath. It's like the guy who played Snake here sounds a lot like David Hayter's Snake. And I love all the little things like Sackboy here playing chess with, you know, the Sweet Tooth. Admittedly, the Kratos there looks a wee bit ropey. You know, I think a lot of the other budget couldn't quite stretch to a good looking Kratos. But yeah, this advert is one of my favourites. I really like this one. And honest to God, it gets the blood pumping. I mean, when they're all shouting, "For Michael! For Michael!" Just, whoa, it's visceral. And the way the Ezio's there, like, when they killed my family, it's like, oh man, such a good advert. And that's why this advert is definitely number 2. However, what we have next, not quite number 1, what we have next is, drumroll please, honourable mention. The honourable mention, of course, has to be this awesome David Lynch inspired black and white sort of fever dream. I mean, this is way back in like PS2 times. And this advert I never saw this when it first came out. I saw it like years later, and I was like, what? They actually signed off on this, which is just incredible. I never thought that Sony would sign off on an ad like this. I mean, even though Sony's always, especially back in these days, were a bit more crazy, take a chance, this advert was just so weird. I mean, it was weirder than the crying plastic baby, which nearly made it onto this list, but I didn't think there was enough of it to really talk about. And quite frankly, it's just got a crying plastic baby, so it's not really a great advert, but it is an iconic advert. But this David Lynch thing is just awesome. Now here we go. Number 1. What has Emblet picked for number 1? I'll tell you what he's picked. He's picked The Perfect Day. I loved this when it came out, and I basically remembered it in conversation with someone online, because somebody online brought up the whole new video, like the chess one that everybody goes, what the hell? I know that's beautifully produced, but this, I love this. This is like playing online with your best pal. I mean, like me and my mate Dave, we've had many a game session together across various titles. It's like I've often thought I should put Dave through the hashtag support Scottish YouTuber series, because he's also a tuber and he does game and stuff, but he does like most of his gameplay streams and that. But he's a good guy. He's getting to be a good YouTuber. He's getting there. But this advert, this was the nuts. So there you go. That's my list. I'm sure you out there in the Zen fam, you have your own list. And if you do, then please typey down below. Let us in below. No! Tell me what you think. Tell me your list. Maybe my list is flawed in some manner. I don't think so, but you may. Anyway, I'm gonna love you and leave you, so you know what to do. Hashtag support Scottish YouTubers. And of course, as always, aye, no bother.